What is going on, everybody? If you've been playing Call of Duty Warzone at all or watching it, you've noticed that the Kar 98K is back and in full force. Everybody's using this freaking thing. And I noticed a few of my favorite streamers are using different builds, so I decided to test them out. First, I tested ZLaner's Kar 98 build, then Spartakus, and then the OG Stone Mountain 64. So today I'm going to take a look at each of these builds, break them down a little bit, give you my favorite build at the end. Now this thing's bound to get nerfed, so have some fun with it while you still can. Well, let's get to it.
On by. Right here. Gonna come in. Downed him.
Oh my god.
That was a good team shot there. That was nice. First, we have ZLaner's build. I like this build a lot. He has it built for ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, which is great. He utilizes that Razorhawk laser to help with some of that, as well as a variable zoom optic, which I actually enjoy a lot. It was my favorite optic of the three. Everything else is going to be the same for all three of these builds. All three streamers chose to use sonic suppressor, the long barrel, and high grain rounds. And when we think about this, high grain rounds and long barrel are both going to extend the range out as well as enhance the bullet velocity, which the quicker a bullet gets there, the less lead we need to put, the more accurate we are, the easier it is to hit our shots, as well as extending that range to make it so we can one-shot headshot for further. The sonic suppressor also going to increase that bullet velocity, damage range, and make us undetectable. Where things are going to vary is the use of slings and the use of optics. I got you with the help there, brother. Don't even worry. I know you're panicking up there. Next up, we have Spartakus and his build. In his build, like I said, you're still going to have that sonic suppressor, the long barrel, which I have no idea how to say, and the high grain rounds to extend the damage range and velocity. But on the other hand, you're going to get this Schlager night view, which is kind of a crazy thermal optic with the target sling. The target sling is going to increase ADS, which we'll see Stone actually chooses to use as well. But the Schlager night view is very interesting, and you'll see here how you can utilize it to play through smokes. The thermal isn't the only unique feature about Spartakus's build. His build also is the only one of the three that allows for a whole clip reload at once. All 5 rounds get reloaded at one time, whereas the other 2 builds are 1 round at a time. This is a drastic reduction in reload time and can be very beneficial in quick gunfights.
Oh, this is one shot, Mikey.
Now last, but definitely not least, we have Stone Mountain 64's build. Him being my all-time favorite creator, I may be slightly biased, but I do like his build a lot. When we look at it, the only difference from Sparty's in terms of looking at this build here is the optic. But what actually happens is we don't have the thermal optic, and we now have the slower reload time that I mentioned earlier. Sparty's can reload all 5 rounds at once. Z's and Stones cannot. This optic is pretty clean, although I do actually prefer ZLaner's variable zoom optic to it a little bit more, although I do like that Stone's build doesn't have a laser, doesn't give me away if I'm holding a hard scope a little bit, which don't hate too hard, but when I'm sniping, not everything's going to be a quick scope. Okay, it's a great build overall, and we'll take a look at the data behind them in a second here and kind of see the main breakdown points. Round 1. You don't want to miss those. We got to hit the headshot when he's rocking, when they're rocking and selfing. Alright, so now let's take a look at some of the data here. Welcome to TrueGameData.com. The Warzone comparison tool is absolutely amazing. Please check out this website and subscribe to his YouTube. TrueGameData puts in so much time to give us stats to make better, more well-informed decisions, so it's awesome. Again, the first car build is going to be ZLaner's, the second is going to be Sparts, and the third is going to be Stones. I can't figure out how to rename these. I don't know if I have to get a subscription or what, but we're just going to keep moving. So I will put that on the screen to make it easier for you guys. But a few points of interest, like we talked about before. Spart's reload time, 3.3 seconds, is going to beat out both the other two at 5.61. That is a significant difference in reload speed, right? That can make a big difference in a gunfight, especially fighting multiple people. Or if you're like me, you don't quite hit all of your shots all of the time. In terms of ADS speed, we're pretty comparable. Spart's got the fastest, followed by ZLaner, and then Stone, but they're all within 20 to 30 millisecond difference there, so nothing too crazy that I think we need to consider. Sprint to fire time here, ZLaner's got us beat with that Razorhawk laser. Good move on his part. That sprint to fire time going to get the gun up quicker and get on target a little bit faster. Our ADS move speed, Spark going to win this one out, but all again pretty comparable. And lastly, our swap speed, which is pretty important, especially if you don't hit the one-shot headshot or you're outside of the range to hit a one-shot headshot and you need to flip over to that secondary to finish the kill. That swap speed is going to be pretty important, and Spartakus is winning by about 1.2 seconds there. So as you can see, this website can be super useful to kind of compare builds and whatnot. Definitely recommend checking it out. If you made it this far in the video, consider hitting that like button and subscribing, both of which are free and help me out a ton. Being a small creator who's just getting started and trying to grow, you know, that can be a game changer for me. So thank you for doing so, and shout out to the 114 subs that make up the Daddy Dream Team so far. Let's get it. Now with that being said, my favorite build of the three, probably Sparty's, because it's so useful to have that quick reload and to be able to see through smoke, especially in the end game on big map. People are smoking to move, they don't expect you to be able to see it. Now with specialists in play, cold-blooded can be an issue, but otherwise I do like ZLaner's optic much better. But for my own personal build, I would either use Sparty's or I would use Stones, but sub in ZLaner's optic. Comment your car builds below and I'll definitely check them out. Let me know what you guys are running. If you like the car, if you think it needs to be nerfed, I can guarantee it's gonna be nerfed soon. So we'll see what happens next. We'll keep moving. If you guys like this style video, I might do a series where I keep comparing different streamers' builds for different guns. We'll see. But until then, see you in the next one. Boys, what is happening? What are we doing? Why are we not doing it better?